gonna go over the best rep ranges that you can use to become a better athlete, and we're gonna start right now. So a lot of coaches and a lot of athletes will ask that question of, what is the best thing, or what's the foundational thing that we can focus on to become better athletes? Is it the next crazy exercise? Is it, increasing your bench press to a certain level? Is it focusing on your mobility, your recovery, finding that new recovery tool, whatever that might be, getting marketed on Facebook and all these crazy things, right? But one of the simplest things that we can focus on as coaches and as athletes is the foundation of every single training day. And that is going to be the rep. And the reason why the rep is so imperative, outside of the fact that you actually have to do something to get a stimulus so that you adapt, is that the rep will show you where you're at inside of your training system, okay? The rep will actually demonstrate what needs to be done. If I'm doing a double, I know I'm in an intensity phase. I know I'm trying to increase my strength. And if we're using parabolic periodization, we're either gonna be inside of the ascension phase or we're gonna be inside of the summit phase, because we're either gonna be focusing on increasing strength and we might have some drop sets, or we're gonna be focusing on maximal increase of strength where we might be doing 8 doubles or 10 doubles, something crazy like that. So the rep really dictates what we're doing in training and what type of response we are looking for out of training. So the next big key that we're gonna be focusing on is, how can we understand the adaptation that the rep provides? We're gonna give you a couple brief examples, and then we're gonna go deeper into the best rep ranges that you can use to be an athlete. Okay, so first, what are the classic rules of thumb when we're talking about reps? What are the standard, the institutional rules of thumb around rep schemes? And then let's see if those institutional rules are actually accurate, because some of them might not be, some of them might be. So let's go into those rep ranges of 1 to 3 reps. Inside of this specific rep range, we're gonna see that's gonna be our focus for maximal strength gains. Okay, that's where we're gonna see a lot of neurological adaptations. That's where we're gonna see intramuscular and intermuscular coordination or communication start to enhance. And that's gonna also improve our absolute strength and pound for pound strength, our relative strength in most individuals and most athletes. So that 1 to 3 rep range is key for increasing our absolute strength. And then that takes us to the 4 to 6 rep range. So what are we gonna see? What type of adaptations will occur in that 4 to 6 rep range? We'll still see some maximal strength gains, okay? We will see some neurological adaptations. That will happen. It won't happen as well as it does between those 1 and 3 rep ranges, but it still will occur. We're also gonna see some myofibrillar hypertrophy. So we're gonna improve the density of our muscle, which will also, over time, lead to some muscular gains, some hypertrophic gains, while increasing our max strength at the exact same time. And then traditionally, that'll take us to that 7 to 10 rep range, where it's gonna be, I think, classically known as just hypertrophic gains, where we're just looking to gain muscular mass. And that's sort of the conventional thought process is, oh, if you're at the 7 to 10 rep range, we're just gonna be gaining muscular size. And then that 10 to 12 rep range, we're still at the end, that back end of hypertrophic gains. It's all gonna be hypertrophy. And if we're doing anything more than 12 reps, we're just focusing on strength endurance. There can't be strength gains from more than 12 reps. There can't be hypertrophic gains from more than 12 reps. Traditionally how people look at things, I think it's starting to go by the wayside, but now we're gonna take a step-by-step process and analyze each one and see, is that accurate? So the 1 to 3 rep range, is it accurate? Are we looking at absolute strength gains? Are we looking at neurological adaptations? And think about here with 1 to 3 reps, we might be doing a technical coordination movement. We might be doing absolute strength movements. Typically those 1 to 3 rep ranges, it's an accurate analysis of the adaptation that's going to occur inside the organism or inside the athlete. Same thing if we're talking about that 4 to 6 rep range. It's typically gonna be myofibrillar hypertrophy gains. We're gonna see some strength gains. We're gonna see some neurological enhancement. This is pretty accurate. Now, that 7 to 10 rep range, this is where a lot of coaches will say, all right, well, that rep range is typically just hypertrophic. I don't necessarily agree with that, okay? It's, yes, there will be hypertrophic enhancement. But I believe the 7 to 10 rep range, you're still going to see improvements in absolute strength, especially if you start to manipulate the rep. If you're doing speed movements, if you're doing unbroken movements, now that rep range will still elicit some positive response that will increase your maximal strength. And then that takes us to the 10 to 12 rep range, and I'm gonna lump in that 12 plus rep range. I think all the way up to 20 plus reps, maybe even 25 reps. We will see strength gains in those rep ranges, especially if we start to focus on isolation movements. A lot of people forget that when we're breaking down muscles and we're isolating them, and we have a muscle that, let's say the latissimus dorsi is a little bit more slower twitch. Same with the erectors, they're slower twitch. So doing 17 to 20 to 25 reps, you're actually targeting those muscles in a way that will enhance their strength. So it's important to realize that you will see an improvement in strength gains. You will also see some hypertrophic gains as well, but it's also important to know it's not just strength endurance, okay? There is hypertrophic gains, so your muscles will grow, they will get bigger, and you also will see some strength gains as well. It won't be as effective as that 1 to 6 or 1 to 7 rep range, but it still can improve your overall strength. So what is the best rep range? And I like to play the whole game of I'm stuck on a deserted island and I have all this stuff. There's only one rep range that I'm allowed to use on this deserted island. Okay, that's the hypothetical scenario that we're in. And if we are in that crazy scenario, we can only choose one rep range. That rep range will be 3 to 5 reps, okay? 3 to 5 reps. One of the things that we want to focus on when we're choosing that 3 to 5 rep range is we want to look at, okay, how can we get some myofibrillar hypertrophy? So this is going to help us get a little bit bigger and maintain that strength and blow up our strength, really. So think about Olympic weightlifters, okay? Their quads are huge, their hamstrings are huge, their glutes are huge, their back's yoked, right? This is because they live in that 3 to 5 rep range. They're achieving myofibrillar hypertrophy. They're achieving enhanced neurological coordination. And that's what we need as athletes. That's the type of adaptation that we want to see as athletes. And if we analyze that 3 to 5 rep range and we want to add in, okay, how many sets? Well, if I'm doing 3 to 5 reps on the clean, let's say we're doing 3 cleans, I want to do 7 sets. I want to do 6 sets. I want to do 8 sets. Or if we're doing back squats, let's do 7 sets of 5. You know, the old classic is 5 by 5. 5 by 5 is phenomenal. You're gonna elicit a lot of adaptation from that with maximal strength. And then that takes us into all of the other types of movements that we've created these columns for you, right? So you understand based off of our programming template, there's technical coordination. 3 to 5 reps is phenomenal. There's absolute strength. 3 to 5 reps is phenomenal. Accessory movements, even 5 reps with accessories is phenomenal if you're doing 5 or 6 sets. Now let's talk about plyometrics and reflexive work. 5 sets of 3 reps is typically the most common rep scheme that we use when we're even talking about plyometrics and reflexive strength movements. So now we're going to give you a couple key ways that you can apply the 3 to 5 rep range to enhance all of those different movements. That first applied system is going to be based around step loading. I want to see 3 triples, okay? 3 sets of 3 at a high weight, and you want to push it. Maybe it's all across the board. You're doing 3 sets of 3 at the exact same weight. Now the step comes into play when we're doing another set of 5 and then another set of 5 and another set of 5. So we're going to go 3 sets of 3 and then we're going to do 3 sets of 5, okay, right after. And the goal is that first set of 5 or that second set of 5, we're trying to hit the same weight that we did those triples at. So now you're really pushing yourself, you're focusing on it, you're going, all right, well, I hit a triple, what's 2 more reps here? And you start to push that 5 rep max based off of how you loaded those triples. So that's gonna be a system that you can use for absolute strength and even some accessories, but I would say typically just for absolute strength. That takes us into technical coordination exercises. Again, 5 by 3, pivotal. Same when we're talking about plyometrics. If we're doing hurdle hops, 5 triples on hurdle hops. If we're doing stair jumps, 5 sets of 3. If we're doing single leg bounds, I want to do 5 sets, 3 on the left leg, 3 on the right leg. Let's talk about wave loading. Now we're going into wave loading. One of my favorite waves is doing a set of 3, then doing a set of 5, then doing a set of 3, then doing a set of 5, then doing a set of 3. And what happens is, as you sort of confuse your body, that 5 rep max gets pulled up because you're potentiating everything so well with those triples. And then when we're talking about accessories, what if you did 4 sets of 5 on a Nordic hamstring curl? That would be a really good accessory. Or if we're doing 4 sets of 5 on glute ham with a bar on our back, we can load that pretty heavy and focus on extreme strength transfer from the hamstrings into the glutes into that lower back. Now you can do, 115 pounds on the glute ham raise, and that's really gonna enhance your lower back strength. Okay, so what do we go over? We understand that the rep is the key component behind every system. It's the key player, right? It tells you where you're at inside of your training. We covered the classic view of rep schemes. We looked at, 1 rep through 3 reps, 4 reps through 6, 7 to 10, 10 plus, right? And we saw where is that actually accurate? Where is there a little bit more of a gray area? And that can help us as we're trying to identify the best rep schemes for all of our athletes. And then we dove deeper and uncovered the versatility of that 3 to 5 rep range. We gave you the step loading, we gave you the wave loading, we gave you the way that we would load plyometrics and technical coordination so that you can enhance your overall strength and become a better athlete or train your athletes at a higher level. So use these rep schemes in different scenarios, and I also recommend understanding your overall periodization. If we know we use parabolic periodization where we're gonna focus on volume for 2 phases, then we're gonna focus on intensity for 2 phases, but there's key players that go back and forth in our loading that can bridge those phases properly. We're always gonna be looking for increasing strength, for increasing reflexive strength, for increasing power output, but we also need to make sure that the structural integrity is there with our athletes. And if this is something that you struggle with, click on the link down below in the description. Head over to garagestrength.com. You can pick up our Sports Performance Bible. It's a book and video course that's designed to help you understand overall programming for sports performance. Remember, when we're talking about rep ranges, when we're talking about training in general, you've always got to remember to cultivate your power. Peace.